folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy. And that's what they're doing early in this game.
On second down, Freeman. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And, Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. To throw is Ryan. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
21. Hey, Tuesday.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Here's Ryan. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience is early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Now it's Ryan. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Buccaneers have it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you've got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. And his first pass is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing, Winston. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jameis now on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
On any pass in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now the first carry for Ronald Jones. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Winston. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. From the shotgun, Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And that gets him a little room as he'll take this up over the 10-yard line. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Hey, let's go. Gun.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Julio Jones all alone. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So that's about as long a non-scoring play as you're going to see from inside their own 10 to 1st and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Tevin Coleman, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. Yeah. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They just do get the play off. Now Winston. A dump underneath to Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Winston now from the 50. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands. Guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage, so as a former DB, How tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And this will be incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Green, triple C. Ready. Blue lady. Green, triple C. Here we go, G. Here I come again.
Working out of the gun. Winston. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Perry, the return. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On first down, Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, Tuesday. Let him go.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain. 13 yards that time and another 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Right.
From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. and somehow incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. The Falcons on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Ryan flushed out right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
On 1st and 10, Winston. And his throw is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Now Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10. Following the interception, Winston. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A chance now to get even before the break as they come up 1st and goal. Oh, how about this call down near the goal line? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Forbath will put the... We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
2nd down, Winston. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's go now.
Jameis to throw it. Quick hitch, complete. It's Williams. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4.
Ready. Blue ready. Let's go.
To throw is Winston. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bucs are able to strike for 6. Kai Forbath on for the extra point. Forbath, the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Perry, the return. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop them. But, boy, what a tough spot they're in.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Let's go.
On second down, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And he knocks it through. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
They'll run it with Jones. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Over the middle, complete. That's Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Winston. Evans has it left side. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Winston now to throw on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. From the red zone now, Winston. And this is going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's going to have to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To the air again with Winston. Steps away to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. Picked off by Robert Alford. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting...
Here's Bosher to kick it away. To return, it's DeAndre Washington. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Takk McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
White 25, 70.
Now Jameis on second down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Takk McKinley in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. From the gun, Winston. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They do get 9, but it leads to fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Ready. Black 22.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Uncorks one for Davis. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it. So they really needed points here in a two-score game. Could not come away with anything there on fourth.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. They'll run it now out of the gun. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a first and goal. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. He'll get it up the middle. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to third and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On third and goal, Ryan. after this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that'll make this a 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. 1st down, Winston. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver, complete. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Let's go now. Ready. Black 22.
They'll throw again. Winston. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Hey. Ready. Blue ready.
Jameis again. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And this is going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. This is caught. He's going to be stopped shy of the end zone. They get the completion but cannot push forward into the end zone. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as he'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Freeman again. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
Here's Matt Bosher now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Atlanta, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Mile High to take on the Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time.
We coming, man. Big guys, man. P&V. Skirt.
Respect, I guess. Make the drop.
15 when I saw my first 100 bids. Got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Gotta get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man. 15 when I saw my first 100 bids. Got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Go and get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man. We winning. Keep grinding, it's just the beginning. Rap about they ain't living. Ain't no top boy, you gotta be kidding. Like Nike, I go get a check. Baby girl, watch your flex. Got your trees, she go for the TV on my up next. Can't wait till I caught me a Mozzie. On Cali, I feel like a different man. We got the pack, we delivering. I remember cold nights, I was shivering. Gotta go get the bag and no stopping me. Saying they know I'm a prodigy. Saying these be watching me. Got your trees in the spot, she. And I just hit 1 million views. So much better, I don't know what to do. Stack it up, gon' call me a coupe. I be dripping, they calling me soup. I be dripping, they calling me soup. Stack it up, gon' call me a coupe. I be dripping, they calling me soup. 15, when I saw my first 100 bids, got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Gotta get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man. 15, when I saw my first 100 bids, got my first 100 bids and made it through the running, man. They know how we coming, man. Go and get this money, man. I came up from nothing, had to turn it into something, man.
What's that on that beat?
Addicted to ballin', I have to get my cash. The money is calling. Got bands, got bands, got bands. I'm addicted to ballin'. I'm addicted to ballin'. I have to get my ends. I pull up in my bands, flexing, counting my bands. Started getting money. I see how it feels to be rich. I live by the beach now. That's a virtual